My name is Teresa Link. I teach autism level 3, which is like moderate disabilities basic level for Gwinnett County. There's a million things as a case manager you need to really pay attention to. The biggest are your timelines, and go ahead and set out a calendar several weeks in advance so that you have time to review the IEP. I find that I can tear someone else's IEP apart easily, but when it comes to my own, I'm not as objective and I don't do as well. So I like to pair with someone because, many times I know what I want to say in my head and it doesn't necessarily come out in the goals or the IEP, but when I talk to someone, so collaboration is really key in being a special ed student.
Alright, my name is Dustin Donaldson. I'm a special education teacher here at Pygmyville Middle School. This is my third year teaching, and I work with students on the autism spectrum, more on the more severe side. But in regards to IEPs, I kind of wish that when I first started that I would have known that I could lean more on my teammates, that if I had any questions in regards to goals or objectives, that I could always go to somebody because somebody else may have another idea that I may not have come across. I also wish that I would have known about keeping a better timeline in regards to IEPs, because some parents aren't as communicative as others, so some you can't get a hold of, so to give yourself that ample time to be able to get stuff completed. And then I think another thing that I wish I would have known would be that the IEP is a team decision. So if you feel like you don't know something, that's the reason why the team is there, is for y'all to talk it out and to come to a consensus together on what's best for the child. So definitely rely on your team. And I think that's it in regards to my viewpoints and my little tips. Thank you.
Okay. Hey, I'm Cheryl Nakahata. I am a middle school special ed teacher and department chair. I have been teaching for 37 years. I teach the mildly intellectually disabled population. My advice for you with IEPs has to do with data. It's real easy to think that you know a child and think that you know what their strengths and weaknesses are, but unless you have the data to support it, it's very hard to sit in an IEP meeting and discuss that. So what I would suggest, and what I've learned over the years, is that keeping track of the data, whether it be just weekly, just kind of a quick check as to where kids stand on that objective, is key. So you actually have something that you can present to parents. You have exact percentages. It's not just a nebulous 40%, but it's exactly at 32%. That would be my biggest piece of advice, is to take your data, rely on your data, and use your data. It will be your friend. And please.
Hi, I'm Tricia Brain, and I teach SLD, self-contained. And when I started learning to write IEPs, one of the most important things was current testing information so that you know where the child's strengths and weaknesses are, and you can gear towards his strength and work on his weaknesses.
Hey, I'm Monique Toole, and I teach 7th grade science resource as well as study skills. And I've been thinking about an IEP and what advice I might give to a new teacher. What I'll say is there's a lot of scientific data that is in the IEP. Your best bet is start with the psychological report. Think of it as a snapshot of a child's brain and how they process information. Go back to that psychological report so you can really understand their disability. As you're writing the IEP, remember, it is a snapshot of the student and how they learn.